Yeah, very good evening, one and all. I'm just muting your voice, okay, so that it will not create disturbance for the webinar. Hope my voice is audible to everyone, right? If my voice is not audible, please let me know. Am I audible to everyone? You can use chat, okay? So we are organizing this quarantine webinar series from last 2 days. On the first day, uh, we discussed about augmented reality, how to get started with augmented reality. On the second day, we just discussed about how to create a skill on Amazon Alexa. And this is a third day where we are discussing about how to train a classifier in IBM Cloud. In particular, we are going to talk about visual recognition service. So meanwhile, before we get into the topic, I asked you to create an account in IBM Cloud if you want to do hands-on along with me. Having an account in IBM is must, so that my webinar will be more interesting and all. When I ask you to create an account in IBM Cloud, when I ask you to create an account in IBM Cloud, people generally create an account in IBM.com, and they say that they have created an account. But here we need to create an account in IBM Cloud, and thereby you need to put cloud at the end. Then only it will be redirected to IBM Cloud. So when you enter IBM.com, it will be redirected to IBM page. It will not be redirected to cloud. So you need to put cloud. Thereby IBM Cloud page will open, and here you need to click on sign up if you want to create an account, or else if you are having an account you can just log in, so that the dashboard page will open for IBM. I'm just logging into IBM Cloud. So this is a URL where you can see my screen, right? uh, if you have any queries you can post me in the chat, okay? I'll reply accordingly. So the email address, my email address is this. Okay, I'll click on login. So it is not checking whether my email ID is existed or not. I'll enter my password. But when you sign up for an account in IBM Cloud, they'll be sending a email verification. If email is verified, then you can log in into your IBM Cloud dashboard. Just logged in. So this is a dashboard page of IBM Cloud. IBM Cloud, you'll have a lot of services related to artificial intelligence, and also related to machine learning, also related to Internet of Things, also related to cyber security, also related to game development. You have a lot of services here. I'll show you what are the services available first in IBM Cloud, and then we'll slowly jump into visual recognition service. So here you should have an account in ibm.com/cloud. Second, when you log in, the IBM dashboard will be opened. There you can find the portfolio of IBM Cloud. So let's briefly talk about what are the services available in IBM Cloud, and then we'll jump into our topic, which is visual recognition. So this is a dashboard page of IBM Cloud. So here you can see what are the services available in IBM Cloud. One is VPC infrastructure is there. Infrastructure as a service. When you talk about cloud, you'll have cloud layers here. One is infrastructure as a service. You'll be having software as a service. You'll be having platform as a service models and all. So here you'll have different types of layers, where some services will be of infrastructure as a service, some will be of PAS, some will be of IAS and all. These are the different types of domains which are available in IBM Cloud. Related to databases, related to analytics, related to artificial intelligence. related to Internet of Things. You can have web and mobile application interfaces here. You can build security related ideas and projects and all. You can easily integrate this IBM Cloud with any application that is available offline. You'll have a lot of developer tools also. Testing tools and programming tools are available in IBM Cloud. But as of now, as this webinar is concerned, we'll be focusing on only one service, because every service will take 1 hour to explain. But today we'll be focusing on how to create a visual classifier, that too by using a domain called AI. So you'll have AI, which is artificial intelligence. So you'll have different types of services, in AI, in IBM Cloud. Something like Watson Assistant or Watson Studio. You'll have different types of services under AI. So there are services which are available here. You can easily track those services. Nearly 10 plus services are there. And today our topic is training a classifier in IBM Cloud. So we are using one service. Watson Studio. So let me talk about what is Watson Studio. So today we are focusing on a domain called AI, and the service under AI domain is Watson Studio. What is Watson Studio? What is Watson Studio? A Watson Studio is an IDE, or you can call it as an environment to build projects related to IBM Cloud, where in particular by using services of IBM. So something like if you are aware of Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio, or if you are aware of a lot of editors will be there, right? Unity editor and all. Something like Android Studio. So all these tools are like they are environments where you can easily build a project which are related to it. So in the similar way, you'll be having Watson Studio, where you can use services related to AI, in particular the services of IBM. So we'll be using Watson Studio service, which is primer for creating project by using IBM Cloud here. So you need to click on this Watson Studio. You need to click on this Watson Studio service. So mainly Watson Studio will be used for projects which are related to artificial intelligence. If you want to use the services of IBM Cloud in AI domain, then Watson Studio will be helping you out and building various projects and all. So when you create an account, my Watson Studio, the one of my instance is activated, so I'm just deleting it. Where you cannot find all the services which are in the resource list in your account, but as I'm working from last 3-4 years on IBM Cloud, I'll find out of services which are subscribed. There'll be text to speech, there'll be speech to text, and personality insights. The emotion of the user based on the chart can be easily identified. Language translator, you can translate language, something like Google Translate and all. So let's jump into this. Create resource. You need to click on create resource button. You'll have AI. So under AI, Watson Studio. So Watson Studio, it is available in London region by default. So when you talk about data centers are very important. All the services of IBM Cloud are not, are not hosted in one data center region. They will be hosted in different data centers regions across the globe. And when you talk about Watson Studio in particular, it is hosted in the data center region called London. And the plan, there'll be two types of plans in IBM Cloud. One is light plan, second one is premium plan. In light plan, only one instance can be created for IBM Cloud. Only one particular instance can be created. So here, and in light plan, only one authorized user you can access, and 50 capacity unit hours monthly limit. You can have only 50 hours of the service should be run in IBM Cloud, and one free small compute environment with 4 GB RAM is required to execute this programs and all. And this is free. And this light plan service will be deleted. If there is any 30, if there is any inactivity for 30 days, continuous 30 days, then this service will be deleted automatically. So this is a light plan. This is light plan. So make sure that if you want to work on IBM Watson Studio, make sure that there should be an activity for every successful 30 days. Now only one instance can be created. If you are hosting Watson Studio in your account, it means that you want to work in projects of AI. So people who are working for artificial intelligence, then in particular they'll be using the Watson Studio and all. So let's click on create button. So Watson Studio page is opened here. So the data center is London, and the resource group is default here. And plan, when you can look at the plan, and the plan is light plan here. So only one instance can be used for. If you go for standard and enterprise plan, you can check the prices here. The prices will be available. For instance, they'll be charging 6,669 rupees per month. They'll be charging for standard V1 and enterprise V2. And generally, for light plan, no charge is applicable. So it is generally free, and we can use this for learning, how to create a visual classifier and all. So let's get started with Watson Studio. So as of now, Watson Studio is just an environment to build projects related to IBM Cloud. In particular, you can say AI, related to AI domain of IBM Cloud. So let's get started. And so when you click on get started, one more tab will open. Here it will be redirected to the IBM Watson Studio page. Now it is redirecting. It is showing what are the projects that are available in IBM Watson Studio. So this is a home page, dashboard page of IBM Watson Studio. There are projects which are related to my Watson Studio in my account. But as of now, if you're a new user in IBM Cloud for AI, you cannot find any projects. So we have to create a project. So this is IBM Watson Studio. So IBM Watson Studio is an environment where you can create projects on AI. So next, so let's create a project. But this project is nothing but visual classifier. And this project is nothing but visual classifier. So let's create a classifier. So let's create a classifier for identifying IDCs from the set of images that are passed. That are passed to the classifier. So let's do a sample project so that you'll understand how to create a classifier and all. So let's do a project for identifying IDCs from the set of images that are passed to the classifier. So let us design this project in IBM Watson Studio by clicking on create a project. So here you can create any kind of visual classifier. You can create any type of image classifier in particular, because generally now the topic is related to visual recognition. When you say visual recognition, it is not text recognition. Visual recognition in the sense it is just image recognition or image analysis. Or when you talk about video, sometimes people talk about video analysis and all. Video analysis also comes under the visual recognition. Maybe in the next webinar, I'll be showing how to do video analytics and all. But in this webinar, I'll be focusing on single image analysis, which is a visual classifier. So let us create a project. Yeah. So let us give some project name. I test. Project description. Let's try testing the eye images. So let's do this project, which is eye test. Let's write description as testing the eye images. So let's click on create. Now the project will be creating an IBM Watson Studio. Yes, project is created. So now the project is created. With name iTest. So next, now we have to create a project. So project is created. Project is created in IBM Watson Studio. Second, you need to associate a service, visual recognition, to the project associated in Watson Studio. This is a second step, which is very important. You need to associate a service, because Watson Studio will be having a lot of services under AI category. There is a service called visual recognition, as we are designing a visual classifier. So let's associate that service here. Add to project. So you need to click on add to project. So there are a lot of services here, but there is a service called visual recognition. Okay, let's click on this visual recognition. So it is asking us to associate a service. Yes, we need to associate a service with Watson Studio. So let's click here. So we have to create a service for visual recognition as well. So it is saying there are two plans available in visual recognition. One is light plan, second one is standard plan. Light plan, they're giving 1,000 events per month, which means that 1,000 scans per month. There, it is completely free for identifying visual image classifiers and all. So 1,000 events per month towards pre-trained model classification. So pre-trained in the sense, already there is a model which is available in the IBM cloud. Yeah, pre-trained model classification. So there is a pre-trained model which is available in IBM cloud for visual recognition. And you can have a custom model classification. Custom model classification in the sense identifying one set of images, identifying an image from a set of images. There, custom model training is also there. Two custom models can be easily built. What is model? So let's talk about what is model. What is model? Model is nothing but a neuron which can identify an object from a visual image. Say for example, say if you want to identify a dog from an image, and that image will be fed to the model. Model is nothing but neuron, and this neuron will map the fed image with already trained images, and if it matches, then it will identify as dog. So when you talk about a model, you can have two custom models, in visual recognition service that too in LightPlan. Two custom models in the sense two neuron is very important in artificial intelligence, because every neuron will be trained and will be tested with a set of images. Thereby the neuron can identify what is the image which is fed there. So two custom models in visual recognition service is there in LightPlan, which means two neurons are there with no brain. So two neurons are there with no brain, and you need to train them, and thereby it learns something out of it. And the same neuron will be again tested. Something like, say a kid of third class is having IQ. The teacher will be helping the kid through lectures and asking the kid to learn. And once a kid is learned, and there will be unit exam, right? There will be a unit test where the kid will be tested whether the kid is learned or not. So here, when you replace kid with neuron, a neuron with model, IQ as computation power, lectures with group of images, learning with training, test where this is also test here. So here kid is nothing but neuron. A neuron will be having IQ, intelligent quotient, but it doesn't understand what is what. So will be the teacher will be teacher. Who is teacher here? Teacher is nothing but developer. So what developer will do? Developer will train the kid. Kid is nothing but neuron with a group of images with lectures in terms of kid with a group of images, and the kid will be learning and the neuron will be learning one by one. Once a kid is learned, then we'll be testing with a test data set. So this is how this is natural intelligence, right? If you take kid and teacher, that is natural intelligence. And when you talk about artificial intelligence, kid is nothing but neuron, teacher is nothing but developer. So a developer used to train the neuron. There will be two types of kids, right? Two types of kids will be there. One kid strictly follows teacher. Second kid follows teacher and also self-learned. Sometimes sometimes we used to hear lectures said by the teacher. When you're studying in engineering, people some students will be hearing the lectures, and some students will be self-prepared for all the exams and all. So you'll have two types of mechanisms here. So when artificial intelligence comes into place, you'll have two types of kids. Kids in that sense, what is kid here? Kid here is nothing but neuron. So you'll have two types of neurons. You will have two types of neurons. One neuron, this is driven by developer. Second neuron is driven by itself. A developer, what developer will do? Developer will pass group of images. Driven by itself, here also you'll be passing group of images. One is called supervised learning, where there is a supervisor. There is a supervisor who is supervising neuron with a group of images, showing the group of images to the neuron, saying that this is cat, this is dog, this is man, and this is this particular ID is, that is supervised learning. Unsupervised learning. Second one is unsupervised learning, where the neuron itself will try to identify objects based on the likeliness of the images. So when you show 10 different cat images, when you show 10 similar cat images, then this particular neuron will try to understand that yes, this is one object, one like object. When you show dog images, so when you show 10 different dog images, then people, the neuron will be understanding that yes, this is one type of object. So that is unsupervised learning. The unsupervised learning by itself will try to identify object based on the likeliness of images in simple. And supervised learning is all about, there will be a supervisor who will be supervising neuron with group of images, and that is also one kind of learning mechanism. This is a teacher-led training, right? This is something like teacher-led training, and this is not teacher-led training. This is kid. This is the training will be led by kid and all. So today in this webinar, we will be, in particular, we will be using in this webinar, we'll be using supervised learning, where we train the neuron with group of images, and we supervise them according to the labels. So let's jump into the hands-on. Let's create this visual recognition. So you'll have create button here. You can create. So Dallas. Okay. So data center region is Dallas. I kept here. Plan is light plan. Click on confirm. So when you click on confirm, this particular service will be, created in your account, and that this particular service will be associated with the Watson Studio. So there are pre-built models. Pre-built models is nothing but already the model will be trained. There is a neuron which is trained already. So you can identify by passing an image through an URL. So let's test it. So I clicked on test. This is already the model is there already. So let's click. Let's test with one image. So let me open an image is there. Okay, let me download an image. What will download? So we'll download a Prime Minister. So let's pass this image to the classifier. We'll see what will happen. I'm saving this image into my computer. I'll pass this image to the classifier. I'll just drag this onto here. So we'll see what it displays. So it is displaying as lemon yellow color as with 70% probability rate. Person as 69, Secretary of the Interior 0.56. So this index is very important. That is called probability index, or you can say predictive index there. So it is trying to predict, all these people as 50%, adult as 50%, elder statements as 50% probability. The color is light brown color is 52, but it is predicting, this. There are these are called classes. Okay, lemon yellow color. There is a color here, lemon yellow color, and person is identified. It is not, it is not identified as Narendra Modi and all, but it is identifying it as a person. If you want to identify this particular image as Narendra Modi, then we need to do face recognition analysis. It is not face recognition. This is not face recognition analysis. This is visual classification. Okay. So as the target is all about identifying eye disease, right? So there should be a data set which is related to eye diseases. Let me check, or is there any data set available for eye disease? Okay, so the data set is there. So this is called data set. Data set in the sense, having a group of images. In terms of the main important criteria is all about the image should be either JPG or PNG only. Okay, image should be of JPG or PNG only. So that is most important thing here. So there are some set of images. All the set of images are related to one particular disease. The images are different. We are not copy pasting the images here. These are the different eye images which is suffered from a disease called cataracts. Okay, so we can download all these images from Google, or you can collect data from various websites which are related with eye diseases. Okay, not only eye diseases, you can create any kind of classifier, but for you to understand, I'm taking eye disease classifier as an example. So these are the images which are related to a disease called cataracts. In the similar way, there are various zip files here. This is normal eye, which means that the eye is not suffered from any disease. And then there is red eye. This is also a disease in majority parts of India. People are suffering from this particular disease, which is red eye. One portion of the eye will be red. So in the similar way, you'll have all the data sets here, and all the data sets you need to prepare. If you want to do your own custom classification, you need to create your own data set. You need to identify what are the diseases available for eye, and you need to check all the data set which is related to the diseases. So let's upload this data. After downloading all the images from Google or the respective website, we need to zip them. So let's zip them. So we have already did zipping should be done, because all these images should be in the respective folder, and we need to upload all the zips to here. So let's browse all these things to here. So cataracts, red eye, water eye, normal eye. Let's upload all the. You can upload all the data sets to assets option. There is an assets option here. All the data sets will be uploaded. Data set is nothing but data set is nothing but a group of images which were not which are not duplicated but looks similar. So now the data sets have been uploaded. as this visual recognition. So previously we are talking about pre-built models and all, right? So let's talk about classify images. Let's click on this create model. So when you click on create model, which is like a custom classification, we need to create classes, but we have uploaded all the data sets to assets. So the same thing you can see here, the zip files which have been uploaded. Now we need to create classes. Class is nothing but a label. So we need to create a classes. So let's create a classes. Let's click on create class. When you click on create class, you need to enter what is the class name. So say cataract. So that is one class, and that class is holding group of images. So that is one disease in particular. Let's click on create. So a class is created with cataracts. So let's add the images to this class by selecting this cataracts.zip, add to model, or you can simply drag this cataracts to here. So cataracts will be holding, now it is holding some set of images which are related with a disease called cataracts. So here cataracts refers to a label which is a class name. So all these images are not duplicated images, but they are like images. Okay, they are the images which is related to a disease called cataracts. Okay, in the similar way, let's create one more class called red eye. In this way, you need to create classes. So visual recognition is nothing but, first the visual model has to be trained with a predefined data set. Once it is trained, then you can easily identify what is the disease and all. So let's click on create. Now again, one more class is created called red eye. So let's drag this red eye data set to here. Now the data set is ready with 15 images. The most important point in IBM Cloud is that every class should have a minimum of 10 images. If you have a minimum of 10 images, then it's easy to identify the object. So that is why they used to say there should be at least a 10 images here. So let's keep some name instead of I classifier. Okay. So here cataracts is one class where it is having some group of images, and red eye is another class which is also having group of images there. And we are having a negative class in the sense if this is positive, having a disease is positive, then negative is nothing but no disease. So let's keep normal eye to it. Let's jump into negative. Let's keep normal eye. Normal eye in the sense there is no disease affected, which is simple normal. So when you're creating a classifier, the most important thing is positive classes, and negative classes. Positive classes are nothing but here you're taking eye disease classifier. So when you're taking eye disease classifier, positive classes is nothing but eye diseases, and negative class is nothing but not an eye disease. So not an eye disease is nothing but normal eye, right? Normal eye. So positive classes, when you talk about eye diseases, you'll have 40 number of eye diseases, out of which you can take 10-15 eye diseases. But in this webinar, I'm taking only two positive classes and one negative class for you to understand how to create this. Okay, if you keep adding number of classes, the amount of time taken will be increased for training. So here in the data set size is limited. So the training data size should be not more than 250 MB. This is a particular limit for light plan. But when you go for premium or standard light plan, the size of the data size for training will be increased. So in free they're offering 250 MB of size. So after uploading this we need to train the model. So this is the button here to train this. We need to click on training model, and then all these images will be trained by the neuron, as I said. Now we have given lecture. The student has to learn based on the the images which is given. Now the model is getting trained, the neuron is getting trained. So in 5-10 minutes the model will be ready. If the model is ready, then we can start testing this, then we can start using this. You can use this model in your Android application, or you can use this model in iOS application, or you can use this model in Python application, or you can use this model in web application. You can integrate this model anywhere in any application, because this model is hosted in online. All this model, all this neuron is hosted online. You can access this neuron from anywhere across the globe if you have a API credentials associated to it. When you have an API key and all, you can access this model from anywhere. So that is the most important thing here. And all these images are getting trained by using deep learning algorithms which are running on the machine of IBM Cloud. They'll be using convolution neural networks here for getting trained. We cannot see what are the intermediate steps that is happening before, during training, because that is patented model. They'll not reveal what is happening there. They'll give only API for accessing the model. You cannot see what is happening there in training, but it happens through convolution neural network algorithm, and that is what will be there in the documentation page of Watson Studio. cloud.ibm.com/docs. That is the documentation page of this. So as we have uploaded 45 images, it is taking some time. It will take another 5-10 minutes to get trained. Once it gets trained, we can start using this from anywhere by using the API call. I'll show you what are the API calls and all after this, so that you can start using it in your applications. Negative class is mandatory to upload. Without negative class, we cannot say that the image which is uploaded is not having any disease. If you upload only disease affected images, then we cannot say which is not affected, right? So negative is very important. Though it is not mandatory, but in IDC, in particular in IDC's classifier, negative class is very important. For example, say if you want to do a fruit classifier, then you should take a classes like apple, banana, grape, mango, orange. These are the different classes, right? In apple, you need to upload different types of images which are associated to apple. Then what is a negative class here? Negative class is nothing but there should be a negative class. There should be a negative class. For example, say a red ball. Red ball looks like apple, but it is not. If you upload only apple class, then red ball, when you test red ball, it says that it is apple, but it is not apple there. So while creating classifier, you should understand how to make classes and all, because otherwise you'll get the negative result. What are the advantages we can take from IBM Cloud is number of images equal in all classes. See, one advantage in IBM Cloud is, so generally visual classifiers will take deep learning algorithms, and generally it needs GPU associated with CPU, and this kind of infrastructure will not be available at every place. So then what we do, we take rental basis of infrastructure. That is what IBM Cloud is giving, infrastructure, and that is what IBM Cloud is giving here. And IBM Cloud is nothing but a centralized place where your training and model will be available, and from a remote application, remote mobile application, or remote web app, or remote cloud app, that will be connected to this cloud and get the things done. And we cannot have this kind of infrastructure in mobile phone and all to get trained on the device itself. So we put IBM Cloud as a centralized infrastructure space where training and the model will be available there, and mobile apps will be keep sending there. And particular IBM Cloud, not only IBM Cloud, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, and all these cloud vendors are offering visual classifiers. The names will be different, but they have this space called visual classifier. And IBM Cloud, people call it as visual recognition, and Microsoft Azure, you'll have visual recognition again, and Amazon Web Services will have recognition service which identifies the things. So in all the vendors, they'll be having this kind of services which are related to it. In the next upcoming webinars, we'll be using Microsoft Azure, but for this webinar in particular, we'll be using IBM Cloud. So, and talking about deep learning algorithms, and the deep learning algorithms, the algorithm predictive index rate, when you compare Microsoft Azure, IBM, Microsoft Azure, and AWS, Microsoft is doing good. Microsoft is doing good when you compare with the rest two cloud service providers in terms of deep learning. Everyone is having their own custom deep learning algorithms which are running on the machines, and we cannot see what is a program that is available there, but we can access the deep learning algorithms by using API calls. And a number of images should be equal in all classes, so that is a point where we ask to upload training successful, the model is trained. And here we have given 15 15 15, which is the number of sizes should be the number of images in every class should be same to one number. It should be more than 10. It can be 100. If it is 100, then it takes a lot of time to get trained. Though we have uploaded 15 15 each, it took a lot of 5-6 minutes for getting trained. Now it is trained. Let's jump into a test phase, how to test this images and all. Now this is trained. You will get status as ready. When you see status as ready, then it means that this classifier is ready to use. So let's just test with one image. So here there are only two classes because we have uploaded only Cataracts and Red Eye. We have uploaded an image, so it is saying that Cataracts is 91% matched, and Red Eye is 0% matched. This is called test. We need to insert the test image. For manual test, we have browse an image directly from laptop. But when you talk about implement, this is testing phase. You can test the images right from your desktop. For a developer to understand whether it is working or not. But for user point of view, there is called implementation. Implementation is very important because you'll be having, IBM Cloud will be having API endpoint will be there, which is common to every user. https://gateway.watsonplatform.net/visual recognition API. So this API endpoint will be there, and authentication. Obviously, every user will have unique API key. So you will have unique API key. So authentication will be there. every user will get unique API key. I'll show you where will be the API keys and all. And classify an image, get method. Through get method, this is a classify an image, and this is a method uh, for classifying through push method. How to classify image. You'll have Java. If you want to build a mobile application, say Android application, here reference codes will be there. API reference code will be there. Java, that to Node.js. You can have hybrid apps, web apps, and all. You'll have this user and reference codes here. Python, many ways people in many places people use Python. So you need to install some packages. And authentication should be there. And classify an image, you'll be having a small code, and you can classify it. Ruby and all. So these are the different programming languages which they support for identifying image from a remote area, either through Python or through Ruby and all. So when you talk about API keys and all, so these programs will work only when you pass API key. For example, say when you look at Python, when you look at Python authentication from Watson developer code import visual recognition v3. So this is a package which will be installed when you run this command. After running that command, you need to import the package, and then you need to create an object for visual recognition. And this visual recognition, we need to pass version and also API key. So every user will be having API key. So you need to pass that API key in version here, version SDK version. You'll have date, year, and month. So you need to enter here something like this, 2018 390 API key. After entering the API key and date and year, which is version, date and year, you need to call one image from a remote area, say something like fruitball.jpg they have entered here. So you can have your own image there. You need to open that image with read attribute, read binary attribute. And there is a function called visual recognition.classify. So this function will call this API, where by passing this images file object and a threshold equal to 0.6, which means that the predictive index should be greater than 0.6, then only it will return the classes. So classifier ID, this is a classifier ID for own custom classifier which is created. Then you'll get the output as simple as it is. API key, I'll show you where will be the API key and all. API key. So you need to come back to the dashboard. Services. Watson Vision combined. When I click on this, Watson Vision combined. Watson Vision combined is a service of visual recognition which is created. So here you'll have an API key. So when you click on show credentials, you'll get an API key. This is a API key. You need to use this API key in the reference code. I've shown you the reference code, right? So here you need to place your API key and version. You can easily classify the image from a remote area by calling this particular 4, 5, 6 lines. 5, 6 lines is there. If you call this program from a remote place, remote machine, then it will be uploading that image to here, to the IBM cloud with Watson Studio, and the process will happen here, and the same thing will be returned back. That is, we are using a print statement here. The same thing will be printed there. The data which is displaying here, we have used, what is this? Sorry. The data which is printing here will be printed in the program, showing that cataract is 0.91 and red eye is 0.00. Based on the image which you upload here, that thing will happen. That's the end of visual recognition. Can we also upload our model to IBM as classifier? No, you cannot upload any model to IBM. You have to create model only, by uploading the data set only. You cannot upload model. See, the main advantage in this webinar is understanding how to create a classifier. So the classifier is created. We need to test that classifier from a remote application. Something like, today people are using mobile applications to understand whether he's suffering from high disease or not. Say, if there is any, you can search in Play Store also. You'll get lot many number of applications which are related to it. Not only eye disease, it can be any disease which works on visual recognition. So in this webinar, I've shown you how to create a classifier. So that is very important. If the classifier is created, if the model is trained, then you can use that model anywhere. So that's what it's all about. So analyze, it is doing analysis there, it is training, and it is recognizing what is what. That is what we put a picture of this. Analyze, recognize, and train. It should analyze based on the image which has been uploaded and recognizing it. I have shown you the recognition also, where when you upload a test image, it is trying to identify which disease it was. So that is the recognition part which has happened there. Training, obviously, without training we cannot analyze. So training is there. Search for deep learning projects. You'll get a lot of examples related to it. API in the sense, as I shown you, the implementation part. This is called API. API part is this, and this particular program, which is application programming interface. So this application programming interface, if you call this program from a remote local machine, if it has internet connectivity, it will upload the data to cloud, and the result will be displayed here. Or if you want to build a mobile application, say Android application, you need to call this Maven dependencies and all Gradle. So this is required. And Gradle, you need to put this configuration. Authentication is this. You need to authenticate your application with IBM Cloud. After that, this is a programming interface, to upload image by using file input stream. When you call file input stream, it opens the file manager, which is available on your Android smartphone, and where you need to select an image. That name it will be passed to here, and this will be called dot builder dot classifier IDs. This will be calling it. So there is a method called dot classify here. That is most important. This is called API. Dot classify as an API here. So dot classify is a function which is classifying, which is testing the image, which is passed to the model, and that data it is returning here, and it is just printing out there. So when you look at Python, in Python also you'll have this dot classify. So dot classify is an API. So that is what API is. If you want to work more, I'll show you the documentation part of this. You can work more. So this is the API docs of the IBM Cloud. So every service documentation will be here. So if you want to work on IBM Cloud, you can use this website, which is cloud.ibm.com/API docs. So this is the website. Here you'll have for visual recognition. You'll have visual recognition service here. Yes. So there are two APIs available in visual recognition, V3 and V4. We have used V3. So you can use V3 or V4. It's up to you. And V4 you'll have a lot many features when you compare with V3. Every feature has been described in the API, so you can go through it. So this is the documentation site of this visual recognition. You'll have all the methods here, how to use that method, and what are the parameters that is being passed. All the documentation will be available here, and this is the result when you call the function, API function there. Every data will be there in cloud.ibm.com/API docs. So you can go through it if you want to work more. The API docs I'll write here, cloud.ibm.com/API docs. Thank you. Thanks for joining all.